And then you gotta turn that next one. Okay, guys, y'all ready to get started? I have everybody?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I got it. Okay, so that's all that matters. All right, that's another one that matters. I suspect that it's filming. I'm not sure. I don't know. Can you ask Quentin if that is on or something? Because
Okay, I'm gonna get
on video tape. Everybody doing okay? I know we got this session and then the session on budgeting and finance. It's filming? Okay, all right. On finance, and so we're going to get through this and try to enjoy the rest of the evening. How about that? So you guys are very good, very attentive, doing what you need to do, be where you need to be. So that is awesome in my book. All right, he indicated it is going. And April's going to double check one more time, just a triple check. Okay, so it's been going the whole time. All right. So, communication skills. I'm Judy Perkins from this morning. And just a little bit about me. I am at the Prairie View A&M University. I've been there since 2004. When I arrived there, I served as a department head for almost 5+ years. Okay? My area of expertise is transportation engineering. And I did my graduate studies, I did my undergrad at Southern University in Baton Rouge. Then I transitioned, it wasn't right after, because I did go to work for Shell Oil Company, as well as Amoco Oil Company. Then I transitioned into grad school and went to the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. After leaving there, I had an opportunity to teach at Southern. Something happened to one of the professors who taught me, and there was an opening, and the chair asked me to come, and so I did. And that was in 1987, so I've been doing this since that time. Went on and did a PhD at Georgia Tech in transportation. So here I am. Communication skills. I want to cover some learning objectives, learning outcomes, get into the presentation. We're going to have an exercise, and then we're going to close it on out. In a nutshell, I'm trying to convey to you how important it is to be able to take your thoughts, your knowledge, and put it in writing properly, as well as being able to speak it verbally. Okay? Hopefully, when it's all said and done, I will give you some indication of some documents that you need when you approach people to do the letter of recommendation. I'll talk a little bit about the letters of recommendation, but more importantly, I want to talk about the personal statement that many graduate schools will ask you to put together. Okay? And then we will have an exercise, which is where I really want to spend most of the session, you working on that exercise such that I can then critique it and give you some feedback before you leave. How about that? All right. Communication. In a nutshell, you communicate in two ways, verbally and in writing. Is that not correct? For the most part, okay? And the other thing that's very fundamental is that I am trying to take my ideas, I am trying to take some information that I may have gathered and synthesized and let you know what my thoughts are about it, either from a presentation or in some type of report. That's ultimately what I'm trying to do. And we've always heard that the more effective you are able to communicate your ideas and thoughts, the more productive the work environment will be, or the better life will be for you. All right, from the verbal standpoint, it's good to always understand the message that I'm trying to convey. I knew today that I had to talk about communication skills. I had to go in and think about what message am I really going to try to convey. That is, once again, verbal and written communication. how was I going to do it? What things was I going to take into consideration? My tone, my pitch, my pace, my inflection. Being able to just talk to you about, hey, when things are critically important to hold on to from when things are critically important to hold on to, the takeaway, as takeaways in this presentation, the body language that you give, listening, and then who was I going to be talking to, all right? Some barriers. Having distracted mannerism. What type of distracted mannerism one can think about that a person can have when they're doing verbal communication? What do you think? Go for it.
Looking around the room.
Looking around the room?
Yeah, while you talk to somebody, it's like looking around the room.
Okay. What's another one?
Keeping your back turned.
Keeping my back turned. You guys who present, have you ever been in a class where somebody's just up there just reading? And, okay. All right. There you go. All right. Maybe some grammatical errors, not maintaining eye contact with the audience. All right. Those things are barriers to making your presentation successful versus not being successful. Some reminders with respect to verbal communication. My word usage, which is my grammar, and making sure that I'm not using ain't and isn't and all of those type of words that are really not part of the English language, right? And remember that text message that I had on my presentation earlier? We don't want to bring in those type of things as well, which is something that if you get in the habit of doing and can't transition and break away when you're not with your friends compared to when you're in the workplace, can really come back and haunt you. Being very concise and focused. And then listening, particularly in the Q&A side of the house. When questions are being asked, listening to the person who's asking the question, and then making sure that you are going to respond precisely with an answer that's good for them. Proximity, that's more along the lines of, am I up in their face or am I a good distance away from my audience such that no one feels infringed or there's an encroachment occurring. All right, written side of the house. On the written side of the house, we have, once again, who am I going to be writing this document for or this report for? All right? Making sure that we know who that is. Making sure I have good punctuation, grammar. Spell check is so important to use. Okay? Also, the thesaurus is a very good document to use as well. Being able to use words that definitely can convey what it is you want to say. And then something that is key, writing and rewriting. Don't be afraid to make more than one draft of your work. Don't be afraid to have other people look at your work before you make it into a final version. Right? Pride has got to go out the door when it comes to communication. Well, when it comes to a lot of different things. Because if you need the help, reach out for it, and there's more people. Here are some reminders. Often, what occurs is not preparing. Okay? Last minute trying to put together an essay or put together a report. And I'm going to start talking about things that you're going to be doing when you go into industry or even if you go to grad school. When you try and do stuff last minute, just as Teresa Bradley indicated about trying to prepare for the GRE on the verbal side of the house, trying to learn verbal words, learn new words at the last minute, that just won't pay off. It really won't. It'll hurt you more than it will help you. All right? Read instructions. What I want to convey is that reading and comprehending what you read is so critical. It really is very, very critical. Not just for grad school, but for survival wherever you go. All right? You have to process what you have read and execute on that process. And then being concise with folks. All right. Elements of the application process. The resume. When you go and ask someone to write you a letter of recommendation and you are still in undergrad school, here are some items that you want to provide them. You want to provide them with your one-page resume. Okay? That's going to give them an opportunity to see what it is you have done along the lines of work experience, along the lines of leadership, some of your special skills that you have acquired, your extracurricular activities. Okay? So you want to provide them with a one-page resume. The other thing that you want to provide them is an unofficial copy of your transcript. I tell you, if you don't have those two pieces of information, it's a little difficult to write that letter of recommendation for people. Right? Those two pieces of information helps that person to write that letter of recommendation. Now, if you've already graduated, you out there working, the one thing that you want to give them is your resume. All right? Is your resume. So, still an undergrad, what do we need to give them? Resume and unofficial transcript. When we've already graduated, what do we need to give them? Just the resume. Okay. All right. Since I've already said a little bit about the letter of recommendation, the letter of recommendation, particularly when we're trying to get into grad school, we want to fall back on our faculty members. This is something Dr. Bellows talked about. Fall back onto our faculty to ask them to write me a very strong, you want to underline the word strong, letter of recommendation. Okay? Ask a variety of faculty. All right? Not that just those that you may have taken a class with, but maybe also those that you have done some research for. Okay? Or you did some work study for. All right? Don't leave out asking the department chair or department head, depending on which one it is at your particular institution. All right? Or even the dean. Those are some key personnel to go after, asking them to do letters of recommendation. They should be able to describe how you have performed relative to other folks that are similar to you. That takes care of letter of recommendation. So far, are there any questions about that? Yes, ma'am.
What about at a place, like for example, where you do your internship at, you get letter of recommendations from your law firm there, in a situation like this, you still have to give them your
transcript in your resume? You can acquire letters of recommendation from places that you have interned. Yes, you can. Hopefully, where you have interned and in what you worked on will tie into the type of program that you're trying to go into. Because if it doesn't tie into that type of program, then you may not want to use it. Okay, so make sure you have that type of linkage. Any other questions? All right. Personal statement. This is what's going to separate the boys from the men and the girls from the ladies. All right? When this is a part of your packet and it's being reviewed by the committee that is going to be making decisions about A, awarding you admission, and B, awarding you funding, you really want to make sure that this stands out and you do a very good job on it. Okay? Folks such as myself, folks who are in your discipline, or the coming from the program that you plan to go into, they will have feedback on this personal statement you put together. All right? You wanted to focus on who you are, your quality characteristics of character, and your research interest. Okay? And how you propose to pursue your graduate studies. Now, I do have a handout that's going to take us in 4 steps on how to put together a personal statement. Right? And then after I go through that handout, then I'm going to divide you into groups of 4, and you're going to work on different steps of that handout, such that you turn that into me, and hopefully everybody's penmanship is pretty good. You turn that into me, and then I will critique them. You're going to give me homework tonight. I'll critique them and give you my comments in regards to it. So even though I'm not having you to put together the entire personal statement, I'm having you put together components to it, what I'm trying to get a sense of is how you can convey your thoughts for that one step. Okay? All right. Here's some things that may happen in the academic interview. Remember I asked the question, and then maybe guys you didn't know it was me who asked that question to Dr. Bellows when I raised the question as to, is there funding for students to come to the university and tour the university? Will the university pay for that? Okay, and she responded that more than likely they will. So when you are preparing for that academic interview or beginning to write that personal statement, here are some 10 things that you want to look into. Why graduate school? You guys have been bombarded with that this morning. Why grad school? Okay, you've seen that on many occasions. What discipline am I interested in? You got to do some background research, and I kind of not really want to use the word research, but you got to do some background work and do some due diligence in terms of being able to identify what it is I really want to study and why do I want to study. Okay? The institution, what are my strengths and weaknesses? And be very, very honest about that. What areas am I strong in? What areas am I weak in? Right? What are my plans after graduate school? What type of career am I considering? What are some of my personal values? Is this going to help me be where I need to be, put me on that trajectory that is going to put me there 3 to 5 years from now? All right. With this handout, let's go through it. This speaks to a guide that will help with writing the personal statement. All right. All right, let's go through the steps first before we divide into groups. Step 1 tells us to talk about the course that we want to study and why. All right? Now, one other thing that I want you to realize about the sizes of the boxes on here. At the very top, underneath the heading, it says that the size kind of dictate how much should be written. So if we want to look at how much should be written for step 1, here we may be talking about what, 3 to 5 sentences maybe? Okay? Something to that effect? 3 to 5 sentences. Step 1. So I'm talking about what discipline I'm trying to pursue, why I'm trying to pursue it, what subject I'm trying to go into, what program I'm trying to go into, and why. Right. Step 2. Here, how have studies and experiences prepared me to pursue what I said I want to do in step 1? So if we say step 1 is about what, 3 to 5 sentences? So maybe what step 2 ought to be what? What do you think in mind in terms of number of sentences? Let's go 10 to 15. Let's go 10 to 15 sentences. 10 to 15 sentences. I want to bring in my areas of interest, my expertise. Okay. What initiative did I take that my teachers didn't really have to tell me to do? All right. Those are some of the comments and statements that you maybe wanted to make about yourself. Only if they're true now. Only if they're true. All right. Step 3. That box is it pretty much close to step 2, you think?
Yeah, maybe less.
Maybe less?
Yeah, 10.
What y'all think on this side?
7 to 10.
No, 5 to 7.
6 to 8.
8 to 12? We're going to go with 8 to 12. So we say 3 to 5 for step 1, 10 to 15 for step 2, 8 to 12 for step 3. Does someone say something?
5 to 8.
Say that again?
2 or 3?
For which one?
The last one?
Oh, we're not there yet. Okay, let me.
It's not 5.
Okay, step 3. Interests, abilities, experiences you have. Okay. What makes me a well-rounded individual? What sets me apart from those I'm competing with that I don't even know that I'm competing against? All right. Just out of curiosity, how many of you brought your resumes with you today? Okay, beautiful. Hopefully you can pull them out and use them to help put this together. The other thing that is suggested is volunteer work that you've done, part-time work that you've done. But when you start pulling on those things, make sure that they tie into, here again, just like I shared with the young lady about the letter of recommendation coming from someone she worked for as an intern. Make sure it ties in and can help complement what it is you're trying to pursue in grad school. You want to use all of that to your advantage as you're shaping your personal statement. Right?
What if it doesn't particularly tie into what you want to do, but you do your best to pull things out of what you've done to tailor it to what you want to talk about?
If it can help enhance your leadership capability, if that internship can help do that, but doesn't directly say, hey, it ties into the fact that I'm going to go study structures.
Right.
Yeah, you can use aspects of it in that respect. What challenges it brought to you, or brought for you, you can do that. Yeah. Okay. Now, step 4. Step 4 says, hey, I am re-emphasizing what it is I have told you at the very beginning, what I'm interested in, and why. And oh, by the way, here's my strong closing statement about why you should select me to come and do my graduate studies at your institution. Right? Say it again. 1 to 2 sentences for that?
About 5, 6.
How many do we say for number 1? 3 to 5?
40 sentences.
I think that's step 4 ought to be 3 to 5 also. I think step 5 ought to be 3 to 5 as well. So we got 3 to 5 for step 1 and 4. We have 10 to 15 for step 2. And we have 10 to 12 for step 3. We all got that? All right. Now, we have a total of 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15 in here. 4 groups of what? Well, oh, we got 16. 4 groups of 4. I'm going to count Quentin.
Okay, cool. I got my personal statement right here.
Okay, beautiful. Whatever group Quentin is in, you guys, tough, because guess what? Quentin has already finished his master's degree.
Yeah, more than 16. Yeah, I think we have 17.
I counted 16. 3, 6, 9, that's 10 right there. 2, 4, 6. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So we got 18. All right. So Quentin, I guess you're off the hook.
Okay.
So that's almost what?
4 each and 1
4,
5.
1 half 5. Okay. So break yourself into groups of 4. All right. Groups of 4. And what you end up doing is probably bringing together some tables and stuff so that you can sit on both sides. Groups of 4, and then I'll have one group of 5.
We're gonna sit like table like this.
Once you're in your group, then I'm gonna tell you what to
You
do.
gonna sit over here? You gonna sit over there?
Let's get organized first. Once you're in your group, then I'm gonna tell you what to do.
It's fine. You know what? Don't play. Cause you know what?
This looks like there's a 5 right there.
Don't judge me based on what you see. I'm not doing that. I'm on that, bro. Yeah, a little leg. It's fine. If you want, it's fine.
4 there, we got 4 there.
School over 8. School over 8.
I don't care either. If you want to play the rest of
We
your
do. We
life.
frat boys. Ain't that right?
Y'all ready?
What are you part of?
Omega Sun.
Oh, I see. What's up?
Okay. Listen up. Here's the instruction. What was one of the things that we had to do that was key to communication?
Listen.
Listen. This is my step 1. Here's my step 2. Here's my step 3. Here's my step 4. All right? Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Everybody got that, right? Yes. All right. Now, check this out. Step 4, you must do step 1 and 4. Think about it. If you go back to the flow chart, think about it. Number 4 says, step 4 says it's a reiteration of step 1.
So that means we gotta get step 1's answer and take it
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Listen. This group over here will do step 1 and step 4. All right? Okay? Now, each individual in the group have to do your own step 1. Put your name on it, you're going to turn it into me. So each one of y'all will do step 1 for your own self. Each one of you will do step 2 for your own self. The reason I put you in this group is also you can be talking about to kind of share different things that kind of bounce things off and ideas off that kind of help shape what you want to put together. All right? You guys are step 3. Each one of you must put together step 3. Put your name on it and you'll turn it into me.
I like to write an essay. So long.
Step 4, you will do step 1 and 4 individually. Put your name on it and turn it into me.
You must know I hate writing. That's why you made me do it.
But think about how to shape this. Right? And even though you may not be planning to go to grad school, still engage in my exercise.
So we're all doing step 1.
This is you just do step 2.
Anything about doing the grad school?
But you can jump right in there and what you will really turn in is step 2. Now if you think to get to step 2, but I think you can really just do step 2. You can, yeah. I'm coming to you. All right, it is 3:59, and you have Oh, you do? You have 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Because we switch at 4:10. Go for it. What's going to be your course of study?
That's what everybody tells me.
We do a lot of stuff like
Traffic engineering. Okay.
related to like
Alright.
like construction,
On yours.
structural engineering, we design stuff.
What?
Like transportation engineering, we design roads and highways.
Yes.
We do
Go for it.
environmental engineering, which is like, we have like, and it's also like a water treatment plant, like, you take it like the water from the river, treat it so you can give it to the public, and there's like wastewater, treat it.
You want to talk about the fact that they were classified, but even though they are classified,
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, I give like the name, you give the agency that you work there. And you might want to talk about how
I can talk for like
they
10
will
minutes
help
easily.
very
Because we do a lot of
to pursue what your aviation. How will help you pursue master's in aerospace. But you want to definitely think that they were classified. Because that gives you a reason initially why this young lady is not getting the information.
Water resources.
So you have a security clearance.
Hydraulics are like, not hydraulics, like in water resource engineering. So the basic purpose of that is like, we take water
Says you traffic.
from like river bodies and like,
Okay. So talk
we
about
design like a dams,
your interest
get
in traffic
everything in-house,
studies,
so we
what
can
type
like,
of
transport
work
that
you've
water
already
for
done or
like,
interest you
irrigation
had,
purpose.
and how you
Yeah, so
I
then,
haven't had an internship, but I have.
yeah, I mean, like, so that way, like, it helps, like, in irrigation,
But
like,
was it pertaining to
agriculture farms,
transportation,
farmers,
It was.
and we do geotechnical.
Okay, yeah. So really talk about your area,
So
the
they're not like
fact
structures.
that you're interested in that, and then your expertise
Yeah,
may
but
at
like,
this point be
for grad
courses
school,
you
I'm in
take.
computer science.
Okay, I had taken.
And talk about how that course has been beneficial to you to prepare you for study, okay? Put together some sense on that. What about you guys? You good? So we do have 10 minutes. I will critique what you put together. You helping them?
A little bit.
All right.
I'm gonna go around and.
Okay. We got a short window though.
Yeah, I know.
And then we still have to do the evaluation. Of all things, make sure you put your name on it. And here again, I will review what you give me. If it's not engineering, then, and it's business, okay, so let's talk to me about business then.
Conclusion paragraph, you guys good, or you want us to see a conclusion paragraph real quick? This is my conclusion, and that's my intro, they kind of like almost the same.
Make sure you put your name on it. In conclusion, Got it?
Decisive.
You got two rough
in conclusion, I would like to reiterate the importance of safety of transportation to me and my future education. Not only will it increase efficiency, it's kind of wordy. That's what she means by this. Not only will the
So here's what I'm
increase
interested in, here's my expertise, whether my expertise was some classes that I took, and there was some topics in that course that I really enjoyed, that is going to help serve as a foundation.
and then it's to transport goods and people efficiently in the safest way possible.
How you guys
So
doing?
it reiterated.
This is kind of my,
So in my intro, I started like I started with a definition. I started breaking it. So I think my intro.
Yeah, I think, I was like,
yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Okay, so you don't know what you want to study in grad school. Do you have an idea of What are the different things that you're considering?
Yes, what I'm considering is I'm not research based in like type of management leadership degree relative to technical field. An example would be engineering management.
Engineering management in itself is a field, and it's broad, okay? And speak about engineering management, use that term. You want to consider engineering management, and then how what you have done here that help you, that is helping you to be prepared for that. Because when you get into engineering management, they're going to be some different tracks and concentration, and so that may open your eyes. So right now, today, we're going to be doing that. Well, I got it working on the exercise.
I have to actually do work. That's great.
Yeah, kind of help them shape different parts of the personal statement.
My major advisor in my master's program gave me that to write my personal statement because I took 12 hours before the series. And he said,
Yeah.
he gave me that exact document.
So what we did was to go through, and I had them to, based on the size, they tell me how many sentences do you think should go in this box. And so they did that. So now I put them in the group, so they have to take the box associated with their group and write it. And I'll critique it tonight and get back to them.
But it's not that long.
So they gave me some homework.
See, teachers have homework too.
There you go. There you go.
Help it with the
Just do the best you can. Do the best you can. You'll be okay.
so that you're probably were you there?
Nah, I wasn't there. I was sitting out there. I thought I was pretty good.
My conclusion is so fire.
I like the confidence.
And then I put up the concluding slide, but I think what's key is for you to kind of get through your assignment there. You got something for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just went through the
Yeah, you're group 4. So that's and you have, so you're ready to turn yours in. Try to stay within the number of sentences that we had decided that was for each step. Which would be another test of
Listening.
staying within the boundaries. One boundary was we ought to meet the time constraint. The other one is making sure that we kind of stay within that range of the number of sentences that we said we would apply to each. So there's a step that's been assigned to your group. Okay. Now, before you leave, you want to fill out a survey, and when you do, you want to I'll let Quentin collect them and put them in a brown envelope for me. Okay. That's what happens when you come in and sit in my session. How about that? Yeah, no problem.
You already have one of these like that?
Yes, yeah.
What's a synonym for hustle?
No, because it's yours. Yeah, and you are making the decision to do that. If it was, if you had
Like I
given
want
it
to perfect my
somebody
hustle.
and
The art of hustle.
they would need to talk to you before they say no, but if because it is your property and you are physically.
I got it on the tip of my tongue.
Ambition.
I thought they would be good if they keep it.
I mean, but like hustling is basically like you convincing somebody or
Freddie, how you doing?
being able to
You good?
sell something to somebody you might not even trying to buy. What? That's what it is, yeah. No, that's not the word. I mean, usually, Don't look at my handwriting.
So in closing, keep writing though, but just listen as you write and fill out the survey. Self-assessment, being true about assessing your capabilities, assessing the sincerity of what it is you want to pursue and why you want to pursue it. That's important. Planning, here again, removing the walls of pride and moving from guidance.
No, I was thinking, what was like, say something.
Hopefully you have picked up some important information that I know you were quick in going through the information, but to me, I think a practical exercise really takes this session to another level, and I'm hoping to provide some good comments on your assignment that you turn in. Hold on to that sheet that I may not have given you. When you do get ready to prepare your official personal statement, if you decide to want me to critique it, I do not have a problem in doing that. And I'll reiterate that point before we leave here on Saturday. Okay? Not only myself, but also the staff members here at MATC will be willing to critique your personal statements. Yeah. That's a service we're going to provide you. The staff at MATC will critique your personal statement before you.
I don't even need to read it.
But I'll go more into that on Saturday.
Send that sentence in. Oh,
If you're done with it, go ahead and turn it in. Make sure your name is on it. And
I want my students to, I would say, like, be on the same page.
make sure you fill out the survey and give that back to me.
How would you use that word? I would say, like, I want my students to, like, understand and be on the same page.
Ready to turn yours in? I'll take, you give the survey to him and I'll take the, all right, thank you much.
You're welcome.
How about you guys? If they're